You're listening to the Confidence Coach Podcast, episode 80, Facing Your Fears. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I want to talk about fear. We have so many fears in life. Fear of failure, fear of having uncomfortable conversations, fear of putting ourselves out there, fear of success, fear of not being good enough, fear of judgment. We have fear surrounding our lives. And one way to succeed, quote, succeed in personal growth is to face your fears. When we shove our fears so deep down, it starts to build a pressure. I like to think of this as a volcano. So over the years, we shove down our fear of failure, we shove down our fear of judgment, our fear of success, what people will think of us, that conversation that you need to have with your husband that may or may not go well. We put all of that pressure on ourselves and we just keep shoving it down. Shove it deep, deep down. And over time, the pressure builds. And like a volcano, one day you erupt. And the destruction is unpredictable, whether that's self-destruction or destruction in your business, sabotaging your relationships. It looks different to everybody. For me, it was a lot of self-sabotage. Every time I shoved all of those fears and anxieties deep, deep down, I would physically, mentally, and emotionally harm myself to feel something, because I had become so numb to the pain and the discomfort and the fear that I forgot how to feel real emotions like joy, happiness, satisfaction, contentment, laughter. It had been so long since I had belly laughed and actually meant it. It had been so long since I actually experienced joy in my life. But that was because I had shoved everything so deep down and slapped a Band-Aid on it. Kept telling myself, everything's okay, I have enough. You have everything that you said that you ever wanted, blah, 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 blah. Don't be selfish. Why do you want more? What will your husband think? What will society think? What will your parents think? What will your corporate job think when you hand in your 2 weeks and tell them that you don't want to be here anymore, even though you had been working so hard to climb that ladder to get that job, and then you get there and you're not any happier. I always thought that, if I just do this, this will make me happy. If I just do this, this will make me happy. And the truth is, you cannot find happiness outside of you. Happiness starts within you, where you start to find that passion, that purpose. And a lot of times I think we confuse what our passion and our purpose is. We think too big that we self-sabotage our goals, especially when you are big thinkers, because sometimes we think so big. We're like, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And then we overwhelm ourselves with all the steps that we have to do. So we just never even take one step in that direction. And so for me, I had to break it down into small, sustainable baby steps. And when I started to take little teeny tiny steps in my life, I started not only to create that action and that momentum, but I started to prove to myself that I could overcome these fears, because these fears became less and less because my moves weren't quite as big. Another way to explain this is you have to take one step before the other. So for example, I'll give you two examples. If I were to throw a 11th, 12th grade, junior, senior level test at a first grader and said, I need you to pass this with flying colors, I am setting that person up for failure. They cannot make that big of a leap in that short amount of time. It takes time. So they have to complete grade 2 before they go to grade 3. You have to complete grade 3 before you go to grade 4, so that you learn those little baby steps along the way. We say this stuff to our kids, we say this stuff to other people, but we struggle to say it to ourselves because we just want to see the finish line. We just want to be there already, that we we overthink, we overanalyze, and then before you know it, 10 years has gone by and we've taken no action because we've psyched ourselves out, that we just stay still, we just stay stuck. Or, if you're at like a corporate job, think of it. If like a janitor all of a sudden got a general management position, that janitor, where their only job was to, let's say, clean toilets and mop floors, the only person they were ever responsible for was themselves. They had to only be there from 7 to 3. You didn't have to work overtime. They didn't have to do any of these things. They didn't have to manage other people. And then all of a sudden they're a GM of a corporation. They have to manage multiple teams. They have to be in multiple meetings, be on call 24/7, fly to different areas. It would be overwhelming, and that person would stop what they were doing and go back to being a janitor and say, nope, that's too hard, I can't do that. But if that same janitor was like, you know what, I want more, I'm gonna be I don't know, a manufacturer person. Oh, then I want to be the lead manufacturer. Oh, well, now I want to be a supervisor. Oh, well, now I want to be a manager. Oh, well, now I want to be the sales manager. Oh, well, now I want to be the general manager. And every time they take those steps, they learn something every single time, and they overcome those fears. They put those tools in their tool belt, and they're able to succeed versus just taking one big giant leap and bound from janitor to GM and setting themselves up for failure, because you don't know what you don't know. It's a journey, not a destination. This is why so many people who win the lottery don't know how to manage their money, and they end up bankrupt, broke, and back to where they were in a very short amount of time. Because if you don't face your fears, face your money issues, learn how to do these things, you will always fall back into old habits. Old habits that come up from stories of man, it's how you're raised, it's how society has told you to do, it's how you've always done things. And if you don't know better, how can you do better? So I want to challenge you to write down, what is your big goal right now? What is your big dream? What is your big vision? What is it that you've always wanted to do, but you've held back because of fear? Fear, anxiety, stress, overwhelm, it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. These are all your limiting beliefs. It's that feeling in the pit of your stomach that you're like, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or can I really do this? What happens if I fail? You feel it in your gut, you feel it in your chest, you feel it in your throat. You physically feel these things. And when you put that much pressure on your physical body, it starts to manifest. You start being sick. You start being achy and full of pain. And that energy has to go somewhere. And when you keep shoving it down, that volcano's going to erupt. It's going to manifest. I'm not shitting you. It's going to be self-destruction. It's going to be disease. It's going to be illness. It's going to be destruction of your family, of your finances, of your business attempts, whatever it looks like. That pressure will go somewhere. It has to go somewhere. Over time, pressure buildup can be detrimental to your life. So how can you start to relieve that pressure and prove to yourself that doing these steps towards your dreams will not actually kill you, even though your body's physical response thinks that it will? How can you break it down into little teeny tiny steps and start achieving those teeny tiny steps? I don't care what it looks like. If you want to lose weight, you don't just say, oh, I want to lose weight. You want to get specific. The steps to lose weight would be Create a meal plan, hire a coach, join a gym membership, start walking 10 minutes a day, start doing any kind of exercise 5 or 10 minutes a day. Just take action. It has to be something that is measurable and attainable. I would not expect somebody to say that, oh, I want to get healthy, and then all of a sudden they throw out all of their food in their house, put nothing but healthy food, and then say, I'm going to run an hour every day. That's not going to last very long. That's not going to be very sustainable. What I would challenge you to do is eliminate one food group out of your life. Say you're a pop drinker, eliminate pop, see how that goes. If you want to be a runner, start running 5 minutes a day, and then see how that goes. Then add 5 more minutes, then run 10 minutes a day. Baby steps. You have to have a solid foundation, otherwise your plan will crumble. It will crumble. If you want to build a business, say, I was just listening to Mel Robbins today, and they were talking about, what was the guy wanting to do? I think he wanted to be a wine connoisseur or like open a wine business or something like that. But if you don't even know if you don't like a wine business, how do you know that that's what you're going to do? So instead of investing, thousands of dollars and like quitting your job and like, I'm going to go open a wine business, maybe go work part-time at a wine store and see how that goes. See if you even like it. And if you don't like it, then don't do it. But you have to find what lights you up, something that you would do regardless if you got paid for. This is the business side of things. So for example, if you are totally into fitness and you would want to teach people how to work out no matter what time of day it is, no matter what, use that. If that lights your fire, then use that. Find a way to turn that into a profit, a business. People do it all the time. But the other thing is when the going gets tough, you need to challenge yourself to relight that fire under your ass, because I'm telling you, there is fear in business. There is fear in personal growth. There is fear in professional growth. And if we're not growing, we're dying. Or if we're not growing, we're dying. And that's where that sense of, I feel stuck. What's my next step? I don't know what to do. That is when you know that you are stagnant. That's when that energy isn't moving anywhere. It's just building inside of you. You need to find something to learn, to grow, to look forward to light that fire deep within you and keep you wanting more. Keep your brain learning, keep your body challenged, keep whatever it looks like in your life challenged, because I'm serious, you guys. If you're not learning and growing, you are dying. You are dying. I hate that society tells you that you only learn until you go through college or go through high school, and then it's done. You never have to read another book in your life. And that's total bullshit. Total bullshit. If you're not continuously challenging yourself and learning things, you become bored. You become stuck. And then your mind starts to wander into these terrible, terrible places. And you start to wonder, am I worth it? Can I do this? Can I do that? I don't really like this. And you start to question everything in your life. So what if you took action on these goals? And I don't care if you want to run a marathon. I don't care if you want to open an art shop. I don't care if you want to start a podcast or a blog. What lights you up? And then just try it. Like, you don't have to turn these things into a business overnight. Hell, you don't have to turn anything into a business. If it's just a hobby and it makes you feel good, by all means, find a way to put it into your day. If it's going to make you feel good and fill your cup, overfill your cup, think how much more you are going to be able to pour into others when you feel that damn good. But when you come from a place of lack, like I can't, I'm worried, I'm anxious, I'm nervous, I'm concerned, what kind of energy do you think that you're putting off to people around you? No wonder you start to feel angry, exhausted, tired. No wonder you start to yell. No wonder people start to walk on eggshells around you. No wonder you're sick all the time. No wonder you don't have time for anything. Look at how you've set up your day. You are in control of your day. You are in control of your emotions. You are in control of facing your fears. And let me just tell you that you don't have to do it alone. This is something that comes up all the time. And it's funny because we all have very similar fears, but nobody is willing to talk about them because we're all scared that somebody's going to judge us or think that we're a bad mom or think that we're a bad person. But you know what? When you find the right people who are at the same energetic vibration as you, something magical happens. You are in a safe space. You are able to be yourself. You are able to learn and grow and have these people push you to become a better version of you. Now, I want you to be cautious on who you share your deep, dark fears with. I don't suggest, going on blast at your, corporate office or whatever job, or even on social media of like, oh, I'm so scared of this and I'm so scared of that. I want you to be raw and real and vulnerable, but I also want you to protect your energy. And there's certain people who can hold space for you, and not everybody can do that. So find a few people that can hold you accountable, that can save that space, that sacred space for you. And if you can't find anybody, I want you to start with journaling. We talked about this weekend at the retreat, where if you have a lot of thoughts, if you have a lot of things on your heart, I want to challenge you to write a letter to yourself or write a letter to the person that you feel stuck or angry at, or you feel like you have unfinished business. I want you to write them a letter, write yourself a letter, and burn that motherfucking letter. Burn it. Nobody ever has to see it, but you have to let that pressure out. And so one of the best ways to do this is to write it all down. Say what exactly you're feeling. Be as petty as you want to be, because nobody is going to read this, but you are going to feel 1,000% better when you get that off your chest. Or if you know that you have somebody in your life that you can vent to and just say like, I have to get a few things off my heart. Can you hold space for me? Can you listen and just not say anything? And if that person is like, yep, I can do that, take full advantage of that. Sometimes it's just nice to know that we are being heard. Not that we need feedback, not that we need advice, not that we need judgment or any of those things, just that you are being heard. And that you know that you're not alone, and you're not in this alone. There's other people out there who feel like you, and there's other people who out there who want the same things as you. It is okay to want this sense of freedom in your life. At our core, I think that's what every human being wants. They want to be free. They don't want to be told, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. Some people really enjoy that sense of freedom, that, give me guidelines, but let me be in control of me. And when we feel out of control in our lives, we try to control everything in our lives because we feel out of control. So this is when you try to dictate your husband's schedule, your work schedule, the kids' schedule, like what everybody eats, what everybody wears, who says this, who says that, how we serve up food, how the dishes are loaded in the dishwasher. When we feel out of control in our lives, we try to control everything around us. It's natural. That's how our brains work. But it's because we're coming from a place of fear and lack and not enough. So I want to challenge you. What fears are coming up for you right now when you write down your big, scary dreams? When you're like, man, I'd really love to do this someday. If I could wave a wand, I really want to do this. What does it look like? What does it look like? Dream it up. Dream it up. Dream big. Put all the things down. And then I want you to see what fears come up, what limitations. Why do you tell yourself that you can't have this? Is it time? Is it money? Is it energy? Is it fear of failure, fear of success? What if this happens? What if that happens? Write them all down. Sometimes when we just get them out on paper and we look at them, we're like, oh, yeah, I guess that is kind of ridiculous. And then there's ones that we get stuck on. And the ones that you get stuck on, I want you to break down the steps that you need to do to overcome that fear. And if you need help, ask me, ask whoever is in your life that you look up to as a mentor, ask them what they did. How did you overcome this? What steps did you take? What actual action steps? I hate when people are like, oh yeah, just face your fears. Okay, great. How did you face your fears? How did you face your fears? You know, I have a conference coming up this Saturday. If you would have asked me 5 years ago if I would have put on my own conference, I'd have been like, hell no. No freaking way. But then I got the calling. You know, I started to attend more conferences and I was like, you know what? I should be up on stage. This needs to be me. I need to be that person. I have a message and a story and strategies and tools and things to help people overcome this fear and really take action in their life and be a confident individual in all areas of their life and make money, more money. Money was such a big thing for me. I was always like, not enough, not enough, not enough. And then I just had this calling that like this needed to be me. And so you know what? I didn't just go out there and say like, oh yeah, I'm going to book a conference and invite all of these people to it. No. I started with online stuff. I started to get out there and talk to people. I spoke at a few different events that weren't my events. And then you know what I did? I started to host little workshops. 5 people here, 10 people there, 20 people there. I took baby steps. It wasn't just like one day I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to pull this conference out of my ass. No, this started 5 years ago, 4 years ago. I started to take these little action steps when I got the calling that thing in your gut that says, ooh, you need to be doing this. I listened to that and I started to implement it with little baby steps. Who knows if I would have enjoyed speaking on stage if I didn't start smaller. If I would have, done this big giant event and then been like, oh my God, I hate speaking on stage. How is this going to happen? I would just be setting myself up for failure, and then everybody who was attending would not get anything out of this event. No. So take it back, face one fear at a time, say, okay, I'm going to go to somebody else's event. I'm going to attend conferences and see if I still have this calling. So I went to other events and I'm like, yep, I still feel like I need to do this. And so then I asked to speak at other people's things. I asked to speak on other people's podcasts. I asked to speak on other people's platforms. And then I started to host my own things. I started to host my own workshops, my own webinars, my own this, my own that. And the calling just kept getting bigger and bigger. And each time, each step, I was terrified. I was like shitting my pants, scared, like, not kidding you, pacing around my house, sweating profusely, like, can I do this? Can I do this? But every time that I overcame that fear, I proved to myself that I can do this, and this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so you're proving to yourself that you are capable. And when you can prove to yourself that you are capable and that the world doesn't end, and yeah, sometimes you fail and that's okay, but each time that confidence muscle grew bigger and bigger. And now I'm doing things that I would never have anticipated that I was doing. And I'm just getting started, you guys. Like, I can't imagine where I'm going to be in 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I mean, I have really lofty goals, but again, I'm not going to just leap to them. I have to continue to show up in my life and take action and create these baby steps on how to achieve these goals. You don't just wake up one day and everything just is handed to you. That's not how this works. Even though it looks like that online, that is not how it works. Every day you take steps. Little teeny tiny steps. And over the course of a year, 365 steps really starts to add up. And then you add on the years. And then before you know it, you have all of these steps. And then you do have some larger steps in there. But each time you're overcoming your fears. Each time you are learning and growing and becoming a better version of you. All while inspiring others to do the same. So I just want to challenge you. Figure out what fears are holding you back. And what baby steps, what action steps do you need to take right now, today, just today? Not next week, not next month, not next year. What do you need to do right now to start heading in the right direction? Do you need to make that call? Do you need to create that Facebook group? Do you need to reach out to that person? Do you need to attend that conference? Do you need to sign up for that class or that coaching program? What is it that you need to do right now? What is your gut telling you that you need to do? And then go do it. Go do it. Before your brain has time to overthink it and tell you no. Go listen to your gut, listen to that intuition. It hardly ever, in my experience, it has never steered me wrong. Every time I have made a mistake, I thought to myself, I should have listened to my gut. I should have listened to my gut. I say it time and time again. And over the years, I'm starting to understand that I need to listen to my gut and not let my brain overthink and go into fear lack mindset and tell me that I can't do something. Instead, I'm listening to that gut ache, that soul ache, that inner desire to want more. That is what guides me. And so when fear shows up, I say, okay, I see you. I know you're trying to keep me from going in that direction, so I'm going to go in that direction because you are trying to steer me in another direction. I'm not going to allow it. Fear is my compass. So when I get anxious, scared, afraid, I'm like, yep, that's where we're going. I don't run away from it anymore. I run towards it. I run towards it and straight fucking through it. I don't let fear hold me back much. And if I do, it's not for long. Not for long. Sometimes I have to sit with it a couple days and, pep myself up. But at the end of the day, I'm overcoming my fears and I'm taking action. And I hope that you are doing the same damn thing in your life. So that's what I have for you today. Use fear as your compass. Write down all of your big dreams, all of your big goals, and see what beliefs come up. And then I want you to break it down into little tiny steps to help you overcome this fear and take action. You can do this. I know you can. I know you can. Sometimes it's hard, but you can do it. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. And if you have not purchased your ticket yet for the Courage Conference, it is coming up in just a few short days. I am beyond excited for this event. I am going to be talking more about fear, about passion, about purpose, about courage, about confidence. Then we have a wellness speaker, a health and wellness speaker. She's going to be talking about the mind, the body, the spirit, the soul, how all of these are connected. And then we're going to have a professor there, a doctor there, who's going to be talking about motivation and how to find your inner motivation, your inner or external, what is it? The intrinsic, extrinsic, I always mess up those words. Motivation, and how you can start to take action in your life and hold yourself accountable to these goals. This is going to be a networking, a brainstorming, an action-filled 3 hours for you guys this Saturday from 2 to 5. I promise you, if you just take a few short hours out of your Saturday to fill your cup, light your soul on fire, you are going to be so fulfilled that you are going to take that momentum and that fulfillment and pour it into others. You're going to have a fantastic weekend. You're going to go home and just be like, I am so happy. I am so I am so lit up. And that is going to pour over into others. So I understand that, busy moms, busy business owners, we have things going on. It's the weekend. I've heard it all. But if you just commit to a few short hours of personal and professional growth to make you a better version of you, you will not regret it. And who knows, you may find some great friends at this event, some great clients. Possibility and opportunity is everywhere when you're open your mind to it. So if you feel the calling to attend this event, I'm going to challenge you to go purchase your ticket right now before they are sold out. Please go purchase your ticket before they are sold out. I have had FOMO before, which is the fear of missing out, and it sucks. It sucks seeing everybody go to an event that you wish you would have went to, but you talked yourself out of it, and you're like, damn it, I knew I should have went. Don't be that guy. I've been that guy so many times, and I regretted it every single time. So don't be that guy. Go get your ticket right now. The link is in the show notes, so just swipe up, scroll down, or head over to sashadavis.com/events. Grab your ticket now. Use promo code SAVE25 for 25% off. I don't know when that coupon code is going to be gone, so hopefully you can get it still to 25% off. If not, you are still getting an immense value at the $49 for the general admission ticket. I think with the code it's like $36 or $37, and you guys can do it. I hope to see you there. All right, have a kick-ass day, guys. If you have any questions, message me, email me, support@sashadavis.com. Go out there, be a badass. Talk to you later.